The golden age of the tech industry is over. Finito. Done. Pop! Burst the bubble. All right. So let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about it. All right. So if you guys haven't noticed about this, right, in the last few months, there's been a lot of things happening with the economy. And guess what? Now it's also too falling on the tech industry and the tech companies that all of you guys have been basically preparing to go work at, or your dream and your goal is to go work at FAANG. Guess what? Pop! That's just done. Okay? Twitter, 50% of people getting fired. Cameo, 25%. Robinhood, 23%. Intel, 20%. These are people that are laid off, okay? Snapchat, 20%. Coinbase, 18%. Opendoor, 18%. Stripe, 14%. Lyft, 13%. Shopify, 10%. Meta, thousands. Meta is doing bad right now, okay? We might see a Meta in the streets pretty soon asking for, dudes from Meta like, yo, code for food type shit. You know what I mean? Apple, hiring freeze. They ain't hiring nobody right now. Amazon, hiring freeze. They ain't hiring nobody right now, okay? The industry is looking shaky, all right? Now, why is this happening? It's very simple. A lot of these companies go in and they hire a whole bunch of engineers, a whole bunch of employees, project managers, marketing, salespeople, etc., right? Customer service, betting on themselves on the growth, right? Seeing growth within the company, seeing more profits in the future. And sometimes they just do that to basically try to get another company to come in and acquire them, etc., right? But guess what? With this economy, shit is bad right now, okay? So, again, for all of you guys that have been like pretty much putting all of your eggs into that one basket, this might not be it for you guys, okay? Because guess what? This safe bet, the safe jobs, the jobs that paid the most, guess what? They're not there no more, okay? Now, what do you do? Right? I mean, shout out to Brad, right? You guys saw the thumbnail. I put his tweet up there. These days, it seems like getting a position at a large tech company is not really the safe bet anymore. I would encourage people to at least think about building their own businesses now more than ever. Now, again, I've been saying this for years. Everybody looked at me like I'm some crazy guy on the internet. Man, you should be using your skills for yourself. You should try to learn skills that you can go and use outside of your job, right? For example, I mean, there's a lot of skills that you can learn at some of these companies. But at the same time, there's skills and things that you do at some of these companies that you cannot transfer for yourself and to build your own business. And I've seen it plenty of times, guys that work at FAANG that literally they struggle to come up with ideas on projects. They struggle to come up with software as a service ideas for their own companies. They struggle with knowing how to freelance. They struggle with how to market themselves. So guess what happens next, right? If they leave a job or they're not happy at a job and they get fired or whatever it could be, now they're coming in and say, well, now I got to go and get another job, another FAANG company. But what happens when you don't have that FAANG pipeline there no more? Okay, that's the question. That's what I've been saying for years. This is why you got to go in and start learning skills that you can actually use for yourself, or you could use for others as services, so you could always be good at either freelancing, building your own companies, etc., right? There's skills that you got to learn that's more than just code. I've seen people go into some of these companies and literally go into this bubble of like, I'm just trying to sharpen up my skills, but they're only sharpening up the skills of just coding. Have no idea what's going on in marketing, have no idea what's going on in the business. They have no idea on what's going on with the features. They have no idea how to do research. And guess what? This is where you get fucked. This is when you become a code monkey. A code monkey, right, is exactly what it is. Somebody that's going to come in, you give them the task. They could be a genius. They could be really smart, but you have to give them the problem. They're waiting for the little ticket. The little ticket that pops up and tells them, hey, fix this on this page. Hey, solve this problem here. Hey, we want to build this. How can we build this? And that's it. But guess what? That puts you in a position where You're not training your brain on how to become independent from this ecosystem. This is why you see on Twitter constantly people now complaining, oh man, I can't find a job. Oh man, this is fucked up that I got laid off. The guys that know how to monetize their skills and understand what they have, right? They're not scrambling. They're not on Twitter. Can anybody connect me to a recruiter? Can anybody connect me to somebody? I just lost my job. The guys that know how to monetize their skills, they don't be on the internet like that. They're out here saying, oh, cool, y'all let me go. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I needed. That was the little push I needed to now build my business and do what I have to do. You get what I'm saying? So again, you guys got to start training your brain on this other concepts and start thinking about what you're going to do beyond the company that you're working at. Okay. I know a lot of times people look at me crazy when I talk about Shopify development, right? And some of you guys might say, well, Shopify just hired or laid off 10% of the people. And you're telling me to learn about Shopify development? Yes, stupid. You know why? Because what's happening within the Shopify company is completely different than what's happening in the e-commerce system, right? In the whole industry. Okay. There's a lot of companies that are hiring for Shopify developers, and this is pretty much like front-end development. Okay. And if you're a full stack developer, you can also become a Shopify app developer. But guess what? Some of you guys that have been putting all of your eggs into the basket of FAANG, you guys are not paying attention to any of this shit. So when you get laid off or you get fired or you cannot get hired at any of these companies, you have no idea how to monetize your skills, how you can actually make money, probably more than what you will make at FAANG. You need to start paying attention to things like this, especially for junior developers. Guys, you're right now thinking about, hey, I want to go into some of these companies. Guess what? Hiring freeze. They're not hiring nobody. And if they are going to hire somebody, it's going to be somebody with a mid-level or senior level position. Okay. You're not going in right now. Not in this economy. Okay. So what do? You need to pivot. Okay. If everything is going wrong on the right, you got to hit them with the Manu Ginobili. Hit them with the left. You get what I'm saying? Hit them with the left. You got to pivot. You got to start doing something else, right? There's a lot of opportunities in content editing, content producer, right? Things that you're going to actually have fun. You'll be surprised. This is actually a pretty fun job. You also have jobs in .NET. .NET is always hot right now, okay? These are different type of industries that are outside of the tech bubble, right? And some of you guys miss out those opportunities, okay? One thing that I'm not noticing, and I don't know, you guys could Google this, okay? You guys could Google this and search on Twitter, do your little searches, okay? One thing that I'm noticing is I'm not seeing anybody that does PHP development struggling right now. I'm not seeing anybody that does PHP development, especially Laravel, putting out there, hey man, I just got laid off. Guess why? These are different type of industries, right? These are different type of industries that are using PHP, Laravel, right? You got other things like Drupal, right? Government positions. Again, there's a lot of opportunities here, and you guys are leaving it on the table. Some of you guys right now, you're going to have to go in. If you got laid off, you're going to have to go in and train yourself in some of these things that I'm mentioning right now because you did not pay attention to it. You was only trying to go and learn the MERN stack, right? You was only trying to learn Kotlin. You was only trying to learn Golang, right? You was only trying to learn Python, right? And that's the only thing that you thought that, hey, if I do this, I'm good at FAANG. I'm safe. I don't have to do nothing else, right? But the truth is that, guess what? The guys that's going to be killing it right now are the guys that know how to survive and know how to monetize their skills. Okay? This is the truth, guys. You either going to boss up or you're going to get bossed around. Okay? It's better to go in and have a 20-foot ladder that's yours, and you can always grow that ladder and add extra pieces and make it to 40, make it to 50, make it to 60, right? But that's your ladder. Okay, you go up your own ladder. Then you trying to go up somebody else's ladder. It could be 200 feet high on Google, and you're like, man, I'm going up my corporate ladder. Guess what? When they pull the fucking plug on you, when they pull the ladder away from you, you can't say shit. That ain't your ladder. You put your destiny in somebody else's hands. Okay, that's just how it is. Okay. Now I have a video here. Shout out to Patrick Bet David, right? He basically said something here that's very important for you guys to see, right?
You know, there's different types of people in life. There are those that are resume chasing. Resume chasers want to be able to say, I worked at Google. I worked at Amazon. I worked under XYZ. I worked under this person. There's resume chasers that go get their PhD or master's or MBA just to say, I got a master's. I got a this. There's resume chasers that want to go to Oxford or Yale or Harvard to say, I went there. I went to Wharton. They're resume chasers, right? They're resume chasers that eventually just want to be CPAs or CFOs or CEOs one time just to say, I was. And then you got guys that are crusaders and true believers that are not chasing a title or resume.
And that's how it is, okay? And one of those guys that you guys can use as an example, right, is the homie Levels.io, right? You got guys like Brad, who also is basically a guy that, you know, built himself up, okay? You go in and you look at his history, right? It's very similar to mine, right? You freelance, you get a job, then freelance, and guess what? You don't go in and say, well, now I got an agency, or now I go in and have this, and I'm going to switch up to now, let me go the corporate route, because then now that's where I make my money. No, you go in and say you build your own business. You come up with your own ideas. You take control of your own life, okay? That's what Brad did. Now he does content, but guess what? He also had an agency. It's the same thing as me, right? How's my journey going, right? It's very simple. I came in, I did full-time work, right? From full-time work, I started doing contract work because I enjoyed it better. You know, I could work in different companies, different stacks. I learned a lot, right? Focus a lot on e-commerce, right? Quit my job, started doing YouTube, created a platform called CodingPhase.com. The whole time while I was like learning how to code, to even becoming a developer, to me doing CodingPhase, I had niche websites generating me income. So when I quit my job, I ain't just quit and be like, damn, I ain't got a job no more. Now I had $300,000 cash. And on top of that, I had $12,000 to $14,000, $18,000 a month on average that will come in from my niche website. So even though I did not work for somebody, I already put myself in a winning position that, guess what? If I don't work for nobody, I still make $100,000. And then I bet on myself to build this company, CodingPhase. And now we're basically making millions of dollars right now. Like literally. But it comes with a risk. And this is the shit that a lot of people don't want to do. They want to go the safe route. They want to go in and go the route of like, hey, man, I want to get my check on Friday. I don't want to go and wait until I have to build this up to see success. That's too hard, man. I just want somebody to give me a paycheck on Friday. That's it. If you live that way, you're going to have to go in and be on somebody else's mercy. Okay, shout out to Levels.io, who always been killing this. A very big inspiration to me because as I grow, he grows, and also to, you know, a lot of the things that he shares, I implement to my own businesses and also to my own ideas. You know, there's people that come in, for example, and I'll give you an example. Like he has this thing called Interior AI, which I believe is making like, you know, $10,000, $20,000 a month already. And he just launched this like maybe a month ago. Okay. Very simple idea, right? And again, the guys that come from that corporate world, it will take them 6 months to a year to build something like this. Something as simple as this, which is, hey, you're using an API, right? Connected to machine learning, go in, training the model, coming back in, say, hey, this is what the furniture is, take a picture, upload a picture, generate the images, generate the furniture, right? You go in and take some of these corporate guys and tell them, hey, build me this application. It might take them 2 years to do this shit. Peter Levels came in and did this in a week. 1 week. Because the mindset is different. The mindset is, let me build it. Let me put it out there. Let me see how people take it. Do they, you know, get attracted to it? Is it bringing traction? Is it bringing traffic, etc.? And then from there, let's go in and double down and refactor the code and start building more features to it. But first, let's build an MVP and just put it out there. See who likes it, who wants it. Okay. So again, this is where some of you guys gonna have to train your mind to this thing, right? Some of you guys, y'all need to start following guys like Peter Levels, right? Y'all need to start following guys like myself, CodingPhase.com. Y'all gonna have to if you want to switch your mindset, because if you're still thinking about just going up the corporate ladder your whole life, your whole career, you're gonna be nothing but a worker. And yes, you might say, well, I could make $240,000 on Google, and I got $50,000 in bonuses, and I got this, and that. But guess what? When they pull the plug, how much you got? You ain't got shit. Right? And on top of that, when you have your own business, you actually keep more of your money because you're the business owner. There's a whole bunch of write-offs and there's a bunch of shit that you could add. When you're working W-2 for somebody else, you can't write all of this shit. Okay? And on top of that, the level of like growth and income levels that you could get to is infinite. Okay? It's infinite. This is what some of you guys got to understand too. You know, when you go and work at some of these companies, yes, they're going to give you initial good pay. But the truth is that if you don't know how to monetize your skills, they're going to do it for you. So yes, they might give you $200,000, but they'll get millions out of you, right? Now, if you go in and you build your own business or you pay attention to what's happening here, everything from, things that small businesses need, software as a service, regular services like building websites, building templates, building digital products. Like, guys, learn how to sell something. You got a skill. It's like you're a carpenter, right? You could either work in IKEA and be a very good carpenter in IKEA, right? But there's a limit that you could go to. Or you could be a carpenter that goes in and builds his own furniture store. You get what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense to some of you guys, okay? Like, straight up, the amount of money that you can make when you are independent, you can't even compare it working at one of these FAANG companies. And as you can see, that shit's falling off right now. And maybe it'll come back later on. But hopefully this helps some of you guys wake up. I've been here since 2017. I've been talking about this topic, this very same topic of, hey guys, don't put all your eggs into that one basket. Hey guys, don't go into companies just because you want to have a Google badge. You want to walk around with a Facebook badge. I got an Amazon badge on my forehead. I got the little, dude's got the little, like the Hindu, the Netflix badge right on their forehead, just chilling there. Guys, you got to start going into companies where you could leave with something, where you could leave with some type of knowledge, right? That you can go in and start building your own thing, right? Again, you could work at IKEA as a carpenter and just fixing little chairs, and they'll pay you good. They'll give you a little salary. They'll give you your own retirement, etc. Or you could be the guy that says, you know what? The same thing that I'm doing for IKEA, I can go in and build my own furniture store. Who you think is going to make more money? A guy that goes in and stays in the corporate level and just says, well, you know what? If I stay here for 10, 15 years, right, maybe I'll make it to CTO. And the truth is, a lot of times companies go in for those big positions where guys make millions. They're not hiring within unless you wasn't one of the founders, right? Most of the time they go in and hire people from other companies that have already made it, and they come in and bring them into the new company. That's just how it is. So if you're thinking, man, if I stay here for 15 years, man, I'll be CTO. Most likely not. Well, if I stay here for 5 years, I'll be a level 5, level 8 developer and I could make $500,000. Yes, but most likely not. But if you go into a smaller company, small to medium sized company, you can leave out of there with like real ideas, real skills that you can go in and build your own companies with. And that's when you go and make the real money. You can make millions of dollars once you build your own company, or once you come up with your own products on your own, whatever, right? Your own app. But again, the golden age of FAANG is done. Now we got to wait for another one. Now it's up to you to say, well, I'll just wait for the next one. You could do that. But there's going to be guys like me that's going to be grinding out here. You know what I mean? Building digital agencies, right? Putting it up on Etsy, putting it up on Upwork, putting it up on Creative Market, right? I'll give you an example. There was a guy that, and this is like the corporate mentality of some dudes out there that don't understand the power of being independent and making your own money, your own income, right? And bring out the calculator real quick, right? There was a guy that was talking about, man, you're quitting your job to do, little products for $50, right? $50 products. Man, I'd rather go in and go work at FAANG and do this and that, right? I say, okay, cool. Now, you go in and you say, well, that $50 product, right, could be, I don't know, a template on ThemeForest. It could be a template on Shopify's website, and it could be maybe $200, $300. And I'll tell you this, that $50 product, you go in and you sell, I don't know, let's say 6,000 of those, right? How much is that? That's $300,000. Let's say you have about, I don't know, you have 20 of those, right? 20 products that's bringing you in an average of $100,000, right? 20, right? Just 20 of them, 20, right? And we go in and say we got all 20 of these products and they're bringing in $100,000, right? How much is that? That's $2 million. You tell me how much money you will make in some of these companies. How much work you will have to put in to even get to $500,000. But again, remember, this is yours. This is your company. This is your baby. You can grow it to whatever level you want. Okay? So again, guys, FAANG, is it a good, safe bet? I don't think so. I never thought it was a safe bet. People always criticize me. Since I came into this YouTube shit, people will look at me and say, this guy is not a real developer. I'm just a random guy with a hat on. I'm not smart. I don't know nothing. I don't know how to code. I'm just a mouthpiece. I got ghostwriters who write the code for me. I have no idea what I'm doing. Right? Right? Some of these people, they think like that, right? It's like, okay, cool. You could think that, right? And it's just like they would say, man, you can't get into FAANG. You can't do this and that. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, motherfucker, like I got 10 years in the game. I can pretty much coding everything from PHP to Ruby on Rails to freaking Python to JavaScript, right? I could build full stack applications. Like, I have a good resume. I could work wherever the hell I want to work at. But guess what? I choose companies that I can learn from within so I can bring that to my company. When I look at some of these companies like Google, FAANG, or any of these companies, excuse me, I got a little cough, right? I don't see any skills that I can leave out of there to build my own business independently. I don't see it. Every corporate company that I've been in, you're basically developer number 2033. You have no access to what features really get added, okay? What actual things people should focus on the business, because there's people higher above you that make those decisions. Now, when you work in smaller to medium-sized companies, you have more control of your code, right? You have more of a say. You have more access to different teams in the company, and you can see how the company works, okay, and how the company grows from there. And guess what? That knowledge is invaluable. You can't put a price on it. So yeah, you might go in and get a $80,000, $90,000 job, or maybe a $120,000 job, and some guy will look down and say, "I'll make 180 with a 30% stock options and $20,000 in bonus, and they gave me $10,000 in relocation." And you only make 140, but that guy is gonna be there for a long time, right? You might go into this company, make $120,000. You're going to learn enough shit that now you could go in and build your own business. While that guy's still stuck at 240, maybe 340, around 5 years, 7 years into the game, you're in the millions. And now you're free. Now you're financially free. you're not connected to anything other than your own business, and you have control of your own destiny. All right, guys, by the way, if you like this type of topics, go ahead, like this video, like this content. Check CodingPhase out when you guys get a chance. This is what we do. We don't focus on the things that's trending, right? This is why some people are in this situation. They focus on the thing that's trending. They focus on the shit that they sell you a dream of, like, hey guys, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get to eat granola for breakfast and this and that. I'm not in that world. I'm in the world of making money with code. So if you want to be in part of that world, in that fucking ecosystem where we look at opportunities like content editing, email development, right? Full stack development with PHP, Laravel, right? Shopify development, Liquid, etc., right? If you want to be in that world where you can make income on your own, have skills where you can get a job with, but then at the same time use those skills on the side to make more income, welcome to CodingPhase.com. This is what we do. We don't teach coding as a hobby. Learn skills that are actually worth learning and get results. Okay? We don't sell dreams. We don't come in here, hey guys, I'm going to get you into Google. Nah, that's not what I do. I'm going to help you get into your first job. That first job might be anywhere from $65,000 to $85,000, right? But that's the first job. We're going to help you get to the next level, show you how to make money with your skills, so that now you're also stacking that on top of that little 85,000, that little 65,000 that people look down on. But guess what? An extra 50,000, how much does that make? Now you're making over $100,000. That's the facts. You don't need a company to come and give you $100,000 when you know how to make $100,000 on your own. Okay? I'll see you guys later. It's your boy Joe, back at it again. CodingPhase.com. Peace.